Now, it might seem strange to some, but it's true that paramilitaries are using a point system to determine what sort of punishment gets dished out to the individuals. Now, just an example, for instance, if your son was caught breaking a window, the paramilitaries would come round and say to him, right, you've got 10 points against you. Now, if you go through the 50-point barrier, you're bollocksed. Now, Jerry Adams, is this true?
No, it's normally 15 points for breaking a window.
It depends whose window it was, of course. I mean, if it was your own window, for instance, I reckon the hurley sticks would be brought out.
Since when did hurley sticks fire bullets? I don't think so.
So are you saying this is a point system used by paramilitaries on both sides?
Yes, there is. And before you criticise, I think this is a better method because young hoodlums are getting a second chance and indeed maybe a third chance.
Ian Paisley, do you agree with this point system?
I certainly do not agree with this point system. The next thing I'll be introducing is a yellow and red card, a yellow for a booting and red for lead. I say leave it to the RUC and let them sort it out.
What do you mean you want the RUC to sort out the kickings and start the shootings? I don't think so. Jerry Adams, do you think the RUC can handle thuggery?
Maybe a bit of buggery, but I don't know about thuggery.
Here, we're talking about the RUC, Mr. Adams, not the dirty paedophile priests.
Right, the Reverend William McCrae, we want to ask you, does this point system work? No, it certainly does not, because let me say, you're only giving these gangsters a chance to do it again. And I suggest that it's time to chop their hands off. I mean, they would look a bit funny breaking into people's houses. I'd love to see them trying to lift a television or a video then with their hands chopped off. Barry McGuigan, could you think of a way that people could get away with without getting beaten up or whatever else? Well, here, they could move country, or they could join a boxing club, and that would keep them out of trouble, and it would give them something interesting to do.
I like what, knocking each other's bollocks in? Fuck's sake, Barry, you're polluting the air. What they need to do is go and join the army.
Well, if I can say, we have vacancies in the Belfast Brigade, and if anyone wants an application form, we'll send it out to you, and you'll get an interview with Alex Maskey.
I think I'd rather have an interview with Saddam Hussein. Well, Jerry Adams, what criteria do you need to join the Belfast Brigade?
Well, first and foremost, you need to be honest, a non-smoker, and preferably a non-drinker, but definitely a non-smoker, because one of our volunteers' cigarette end was a bit close to high explosives, and it proved to be highly costly. He wasted the explosives, which we weren't too happy about.
Well, what about the gentleman in question who was smoking the cigarette?
Well, we haven't seen him about, but we don't know where he is. But he may turn up at some point.
Right, well, trying to take these young people to the streets doesn't really help John Hume, does it?
But let me tell you something, if they're off the streets and in their houses, then they're okay. They're out of harm's way. What we need to do is get more community centres built. We need the government to put more money into projects for young people. Now, I really do think that this is the way forward. I mean, I've already said they should be off the street and in their houses.
But whose fucking houses are they in? Some more poor fucker's house, cleaning them out. That's what they're doing.
Right, well, Jerry, does the point system work or does it not?
Well, yes, it does work. I think it's a deterrent to try and stop these young hoods from breaking the law. I mean, if I caught someone breaking into my house, I'd break his fucking legs for him.
Right, now, the Reverend William McCrae, is this point system going to work or not? No, it's certainly not going to work. And I've been at some of the families of these young men who've been beaten with bars, sticks, and some have even had nails embedded in their skin.
Well, Jesus Christ had nails embedded into his skin, and I don't hear anybody fucking yapping about that there.
But hold on, they weren't at the end of the baseball bat, were they, Mr. Fitt? Right, Sir Patrick Mayhew, we've covered this subject before, and you said that you're going to do something about it, you and the British government. We haven't seen any evidence of this.
Well, the plain truth is that the British government forgot all about it. But we will find the time to deal with this issue, preferably in the year 2000.